Cybernetic enhancements were relatively common in the Star Wars universe. After losing limbs and suffering injuries, it allowed many to continue with their everyday lives relatively unaffected. However, there was a dark side to these procedures. But what did the people of the Star Wars universe think about cyborgs? Now, of course, there's a lot of different levels of cybernetics. Many people had minor alterations used to improve their lives, or after they'd had an injury, a prosthetic hand or leg, or maybe an eye or a chip in their head that helped them analyze data. And these aren't really an issue or what we're going to be talking about in this video because they were basically commonplace. Now, the problem comes when we see heavily modified individuals, people who were modified to the extent of Grievous, Admiral Trench, or even Vader, people who were arguably more machine than flesh. You see, by the time of the Clone Wars and the Galactic Empire, there was a stigma around cyborgs, and much of this was actually due to the CIS. The CIS's army was comprised of droids, and many of their most formidable commanders were droids or at least in part cybernetic. And towards the end of the war, the CIS was not popular. Their droid armies had ravaged much of the Outer Rim and butchered countless innocents during the Clone Wars. Meanwhile, Republic propaganda, which had demonised the likes of the CIS, has seen to it that cyborgs in command of the armies, perhaps some of the most notable cyborgs in the galaxy such as Grievous, were seen as monsters. This is one of the reasons why many people around the galaxy had a distaste for droids during the Age of the Empire. Remember, some establishments, such as the Cantina on Tatooine, refused to let them inside, and it's kind of easy to see why. Droids and cyborgs were seen as unhuman, meaning that they could do terrible things, crimes against humanity, and because of the few that did, it made people have a stigma around them. Now, it's not only the CIS who was responsible for the demonization of cyborgs, however. There are countless individuals. Dirge, Maul, Saw Gerrera, even a fair few Imperial warlords had cybernetic implants. The fact of the matter is, cybernetics of an advanced nature were given to dangerous people who were bound to be injured in their line of work, or were bound to need these extra skills that the cybernetics gave them. Therefore, majority of people, when they see a highly modified individual, they're going to be wary of how they got into that condition. Finally, we have possibly the most obvious point about why people didn't overly like cyborgs, and that's they were dangerous. It wasn't like a blaster or a lightsaber, they couldn't be confiscated, and you can't just really take away someone's limbs. Remember, most cyborgs were far stronger and faster than normal people. They didn't need weapons to kill you, and many of them could have equipment built into themselves that would be very dangerous. And this is probably the biggest reason why people were afraid of cyborgs, because if they wanted to, they could easily kill people and they could be very dangerous. But what do you think? Were members of the galaxy right to be cautious around these mechanical men and women, or was it an undue bias? Thanks for watching, please remember to like, share and sub as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLawGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. But most importantly, thank you for watching, I really do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.